Hey everybody, today, Sacral Chakra Healing Tips.
In this episode, Sacral Chakra Blockage. I'm Heather.
And I'm David.
From Zen Garden.
.com.
Yes!
Helping people create
badass lives. So one of the things that causes sacral chakra blockage is addiction.
That happens to be one of the biggest things that we've noticed in our work is people that are addicted to different have symptomatic addictions like food, smoking, things like that. That tends to be a symptom of a deeper underlying cause.
So addictions get developed because some sort of pleasure principle is not being satisfied in a healthy way in your life.
Right. And what happens is inside of the mind is going to protect you at all costs. So what it is going to do is develop over time a very elaborate defense mechanism in the form of addiction to either protect you from the pain or bring you some kind of pleasure to fill you.
Squash the pain. The pleasure squashes the pain. Two of the more common ones, because we understand drug addiction and those heavier addictions that we go to rehab for, but two of the most common addictions that a lot of people walking around or carrying with them are food addictions and smoking addictions. These are kind of quick fixes to stuff ourselves, stuff our emotions, and heal ourselves in the short term from the pain.
So let's take smoking for example. A lot of times smoking tends to be a buffer from the world around you. So it's literally protecting you from pain by creating a cloud around you to protect you from other people who might cause pain. That would be one example of the symptomatic cause of
the symptoms.
Yes.
So here's what we find in our work, because we do a lot of hypnotherapy and a lot of dealing with emotional issues. People will Google hypnotherapy for weight loss or hypnotherapy for ceasing to smoke. And we know that underneath that weight loss or that smoking addiction, there's a lot of emotions that are holding that in place. So what can happen when a person undergoes hypnotherapy for their addiction is the addiction will just find another outlet.
So if you're not dealing with the root cause to whatever the addiction is, it will continue resurfacing either directly. You're going to pick up another cigarette. You're going to eat another waffle
chocolate
hostess bar thing.
Ding
waffle
dong,
hostess bar.
Twinkie.
Waffle hostess bar.
He's just making up desserts.
Yeah. Anyway, if you don't get the root, then the symptom will continue reappearing. It's like a weed in your mind. When you do get the symptom, or when you do get the root, then the symptoms dissipate and disappear.
So yeah, addictions will just jump ship. You may lose the weight, you may stop smoking, but then you may, start collecting junk. Or you'll do something to fill that emotion because the underlying emotion is still there.
And it's there to keep you safe and protect you.
So you got to get down to why you started the particular addiction in the first place and look at those emotions, bring them out, get another set of eyes on it. Because for me, looking at certain emotions and things that I've gone through in my life, having an objective observer is so helpful because your emotional defense mechanisms aren't rising from the depths going, no, that's not it, that's not it. Because your defense mechanisms that you've developed over the years to keep that addiction in place, to give you some pleasure to avoid the pain, they're more elaborate than you think.
And they have created a myriad of safeguards to protect that mechanism to continue its job of doing exactly what it's supposed to, which is to keep you safe. Once you get down to the root and once you clear the root and your mind realizes that you are safe and you no longer need that symptomatic defense, then you can change the pattern.
Right.
And it becomes a lasting change.
So to get to the lasting change, you have to be willing to feel a little bit of the pain as you're stripping away the layers. Because remember, these addictions were put in place to avoid pain. So with that said, be kind to yourself as you go through the process of releasing addictions and working on the underlying emotional issues, because we tend to put our expectations really high. Oh, it's so easy, I'll just quit smoking. Oh, it's so easy, I'll just go on a diet. And then we fail and we fail and we fail. We're not failing because we're weak. We're failing because we're not looking at the underlying emotions.
Or the programs that are in place.
And
we're not dissecting the process.
And those are sometimes complicated, so be nice to yourself.
And don't put any time limit on it. Don't put any pressure on yourself that you have to do this by a particular date or whatever. Realize that this is a lifestyle shift, a lifestyle change, whatever it is, and go into it for the long haul.
So release the big expectations on yourself, celebrate the little wins, and keep moving forward with releasing that addiction, which will unblock the sacral chakra, and you can enjoy and get pleasure as not a way to avoid pain, but as a way to enhance your life and to enjoy your life, which is the way it's supposed to be.
And to experience with joy instead of the greed and need of the have to.
So we want to give a shout out to our subscriber, Roseanne Glarden. We thank you for all your great comments and your support this week. It really means a lot to us.
Yes, thank you, Roseanne.
And for more badass life tips, be sure to subscribe.
And click that bell to turn notifications on.
And we'll see you in the next video.